Good morning, Edge Team leaders. I wanted to do a special announcement this morning, and this is concerning leadership. So I just came back from Atlanta here this past week, where we had a fantastic leadership meeting, and I know that many of you are headed to California leadership, and so generally I wanted to keep, try to not have spoiler alerts for you. However, there's the magnitude of the things that were announced at leadership were absolutely mind-blowing, and so some of those were so significant, for example, and some of them have already started, and where I've started to feel like it was very important that I bring some of that information to you in advance to California. Now, I know some of you that have already been to Atlanta are already going to understand what's happening. But when I went into leadership, basically I had submitted two questions to corporate. One was on market saturation, myths and facts and things like that. The other was oil proliferation. So the idea is that sometimes when we're visiting with people and trying to bring people to the opportunity, I know there's some people that may have the sense that the doTERRA opportunity has grown and matured. And so those were a couple of questions that I came into leadership with. And I want you to understand that doTERRA effectively obliterated both of those. And those of you that are going to California, I'll save that information for you as you can go in there and have your own experience. Also, when I was in Hawaii at the Blue Diamond Retreat at the first of the year, I did have the opportunity to visit with David Sterling went and have lunch with him, and we talked a little bit about the Prime Meridian healthcare system. And I had mentioned a couple of things that I thought would be really awesome as we were talking about it, and he was talking about the vision of the corporation. So here's the opportunity that's before us, and basically all the things that we had talked about at that lunch actually came to pass. And so here's basically what happened and why it's so important that you know about these things now instead of waiting too long. First of all, the Prime Meridian healthcare clinics are already operating. So there's 3 operating clinics currently, and the company is planning a nationwide expansion of over 30 clinics over the next very short period of time. And so just to put that in context, that will make doTERRA's Prime Meridian health clinics fully integrated with essential oils and modern medicine, fully integrated healthcare solution, providing primary care providers for basically a membership. Now here's those 30 clinics will make doTERRA the largest private health network in the world. Now that's pretty astounding, considering that's only the phase 2 rollout. So there's existing, and then phase 2, which includes 30 cities throughout the United States, and then there's a third rollout, and then of course a global rollout as well. And so this is absolutely unprecedented, the size of what what's about ready to happen inside doTERRA. Now here's what it means to you. So here's the problem in the universe. So the problem in the universe is people are paying an exorbitant amount for insurance, and in the healthcare system has become more of sick care, and so because of that, you have the tendency that you're on a conveyor belt system. You go in, you hardly have any contact with your doctor, and of course there's just this ongoing prescription conveyor belt without a lot of real serious or true diagnosis. Now in Prime Meridian, they're going to address that directly, and so you're talking 30 to 60 minute direct visits with your primary care physician. And so in Prime Meridian, this is going to be a membership, basically like a VIP primary care fully integrated, fully capable hospital units. Basically, the unit in Pleasant Grove will basically have most of the capabilities of a regular hospital. And so you're talking a full primary care solution, basically for a monthly membership, spanning anywhere from $99 for an individual to around $200 or so for a family of 4. And so if you think about that, that's your primary care. That gives you access ongoing to managing your health, managing your well-being, and not just addressing your sicknesses when things come up. Okay, so this is an entirely different approach to your health care. Now, what that means to a wellness advocate. Okay. And so what doTERRA has done is they have opened up a new Founders Club. Now this is why I wanted to make this announcement before leadership, to make sure that all of our leaders know about this and you can communicate it to your teams properly or appropriately as you see fit. I'm going to try to download this video and post it to YouTube so that you can share it with your teams as needed. But there is a new Founders Club for Prime Meridian. Now think about what I just said. So the U.S. Founders Club for doTERRA, for example, is the highest paying club, or the Founders Group is basically the highest payout in the world, in the U.S. Now, Prime Meridian's financial capacity for revenue is several times that of doTERRA. So if you think about healthcare, for example, throughout the world, 1 in 6 of every U.S. dollar is going to healthcare. It's a multi-trillions of dollar industry segment that's basically can be improved on dramatically, which Prime Meridian is doing. So now we have this $2 billion behemoth essential oil company totally dedicated to the idea of revolutionizing the healthcare system and creating this viable option. Now, it actually gets better. There are 300 founder spots that will come available annually. In other words, every year, 300 people have the ability to participate in the Founders Club for Prime Meridian. Now, the top 3 spots of those 300 will become permanent. In other words, you'd have a permanent dividend or share in the Prime Meridian health clinics in the terms of the Founders Group, which will comprise a share of 1% of revenues generated from the clinics. Okay, and so now. They're going to, at the end of the year, the rest of the 300 spots refresh and we start all over again. And for the next 4 years, the top 3 spots will become permanent in the Founders Club. So if you think about it, if you're gearing up and learning how to enroll this year, for example, and by the way, the Founders Club qualifications come for enrollments in doTERRA. So the reason I posted the incentive trip for Hawaii and the contest rules is because those rules also apply to the Founders Club in Prime Meridian. So in other words, if you enroll people with 100 PV or more, basically any kit, and you get them on loyalty rewards of 100 points or more, and those reoccur every month, you earn additional points for every loyalty reward order those enrollments earn. And if you're winning the incentive trip, you're probably in the qualification for the Prime Meridian health clinics. So I want you to understand how large this is, because enrollment counting, the enrollments that count, began March 1st. Okay, so this is already going. So enrollments that you have of 100 PV or more and loyalty rewards of those new accounts equaling 100 points or more are earning you points towards the incentive trip and the Prime Meridian Founders Club. So all of you have the opportunity, everyone on your team and everyone that starts this year and everyone that starts next year and everyone that starts the next year after that and the next year after that has the opportunity to be a founder in Prime Meridian. I want you to understand how large this is, because they showed us the business plan that will take doTERRA from its current $2 billion in revenue to $10 billion in revenue over the next 6 years. And so I want you to just put this in context. If we're a $2 billion company now, and we've been in business for almost 11 years, and in the next 6 years, we're going to be a $10 billion company, that will rank us as the #1 network marketing company in the world, and by far the highest paid, most paid leaders of any network marketing company that has ever existed on planet Earth. And so the company is going to quadruple in the next 4 years. So if you thought that the first part of the business was the time to be involved, you are grossly mistaken. The time to be involved and engaged and go all out is now. Now, in terms of market penetration, what the company showed us is statistical data by state, and showed us the most penetrated markets in the entire universe is just barely 3% of market, which is the state of Utah, of course. Now, in marketing terms, critical mass doesn't occur until 3% of the population has adopted a product. Now, what does critical mass mean? Critical mass means that that's the moment that most of the population has heard of it and now trusts the brand, okay? So think about what I just said. That means that only the state of Utah has achieved critical mass. The rest of the United States has not even achieved critical mass. Only Western states have about 2% penetration. The rest of the United States has 1% penetration, market penetration. That means they're a third of the way to achieving critical mass in the entire rest of the 49 states of the United States. Okay? Now, what does that mean? That means when you're talking to people, they probably haven't heard about it, and so there's not as much trust for the product. Companies don't really get momentum until critical mass has occurred. Now, somebody asked something about market penetration, and they basically said, the owners said, hey, look, people say, oh, they feel like everybody knows about doTERRA. Well, and then they said, people, look to your right, look to your left, who do you see? And basically, who you see is yourself. In other words, there's only basically one market demographic that has even been approached. Entire communities have not even been approached. So, for example, the United States Latino market has opened a U.S. Latino Founders Club last year, and there's 25 spots available for that, and only 2 have been fulfilled in the last year. What does that mean? That means an entire market segment is not even involved. Okay, and so just get your mind around the magnitude of the opportunity that's before you. doTERRA is about ready to revolutionize healthcare. We're talking a primary care solution with a catastrophic insurance overrider, and the entire cost for healthcare for your family for an entire solution is half the current market going rate. Now, what did I just tell you? I told you value proposition like nothing else that has ever been described. We're talking unprecedented care for maintaining your health and well-being. This means that the goal and objective of the company is to help improve and maintain your state of well-being. It's not, we're trying to keep you from accelerating your path into sickness, in which you'd enter the current medical system, which is going to just address your sickness. Okay? Now, we're talking about involving yourself for less than half the cost that it costs you to maintain sick care to keep your wellness. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what is called wellness, not sickness. And you have, my friends, the great opportunity, the unprecedented opportunity to be leaders in the world's greatest network marketing company that has ever existed, and there has never been an opportunity like this in my entire life, I have never seen anything like this, and I highly doubt that you will ever see anything like it as well. So my friends, get busy, get your leaders on board, build your teams, create a massive market space, and become founders. Take advantage of this world-class opportunity and bring the talented people to the table so that we can heal the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love you, and we will see you in California.